All right, welcome to the 60th anniversary of the Orange County Trial Lawyers Association. We had a big conversation. I wanted to say it was our birthday. It kind of is, but I was outvoted, so it's the anniversary. Anyway, let me take care of a little business here. We would not be able to put these events on without the generosity of our sponsors. And so we want to recognize them. First of all, thank you, Chart Squad, premier sponsor. You guys just give and give and give every year. Really, thank you so much. Our gold sponsor, Aiken, Campbell, Hikus, and Weaver. Incoming president, thank you. Silver sponsors, the Simon Firm, Robinson Calcagney, Bisnar Chase, and Dr. Zonleen. Thank you. The cocktail sponsor, you know Bentley and Moore. If you got a little buzz going, thank them. And the Martini Bar, Angel Carrasco, Carrasco Law Firm. Angel, where you at? Thank you. The wine sponsor, Aiken, and Cone. The valet sponsor, Vanderpool Law. This table right over here, very nice, folks. Hors d'oeuvres, Kohan and Bavlov. After party sponsor, Rizgio Lipinski. Verdict Video is our video sponsor. Of course they are. And our Uber sponsor is Cameron Whitney Court Reporting. So if you've had a little bit too much, they'll drive you home. The bronze sponsors, Patrick Farber and Atlas Settlements Group, OrangeCountyLawyers.com. Ted Wacker, Judicate West, DeMarco Araujo and Montevideo, and Expert MRI. Thank you, folks. And our, last but not least, our supporters, Z Settlement Ringler, Tracy Cass Settlement Consulting. Very nice offices they have over there, by the way. Aaron Hicks Law Firm, Geraldine Lee, one of my favorite past presidents. Thanks, Geraldine G. Motion Lit, the Birch Firm, Kubota and Craig, C. Jackson Investigations, my man Cameron Jackson, where is he? Thanks, Cameron. Jams, of course, and ADR Services. Thank you, thank you, thank you, sponsors. We are absolutely honored to have some judicial officers in the room. Thank you all for coming. Please hold your applause till the end because we don't want any of these judicial officers to think they're more popular than the others. All right? Although I have my favorites. All right, Shana Colliver, past president, James Crannell, John Gastelum, Robert Goodkin, Maria Hernandez, Lon Hurwitz, Kim Canill, Linda Marks, Justice Eileen Moore, Sherry Pham, Glenda Saunders, Honorable Eileen Solis. I just love saying that. And the Honorable Peter Wilson. We have some retired judges in the room as well. Frederick Aguirre, Gail Andler, Terry Kola, James DeCesar, Brian Foster, Franz Miller, Jamoa Moberly, Robert Moss, and the Honorable Robert Thompson. Now, folks, give them a hand. Thank you, judges, for being here. We also have some VIPs in the room, and that list grew and grew as I looked out there today. First of all, we have the Honorable Senator Umberg, Senator from the 34th District. We have Katrina Foley, re-elected Supervisor, 2nd District. Thank you, Katrina, for your support. Greg Rizzio, President of the CAOC, who's going to fight that darn fee cap. Casey Johnson, President of the Western Trial Lawyers Association. Casey. And I also love saying this, Mayor Aitken is here tonight. I did not know she was coming. Yeah. All right, 60 years, we have a lot of past presidents. But let me tell you, this organization was founded in 1962. I was 2 years old. About half the room was probably not even born yet. In 1962, Ralph Callan attended a California TLA event in San Francisco, and he asked the president at that time, he goes, why don't we have an Orange County branch? And he said, well, go open one. And he did. And at that time, there were about 300, 400 attorneys in all of Orange County. Right now, this room is sold out. I think we're more than 400 people in this room right now, so it kind of gives you some perspective, doesn't it? Anyway, we're going to show a video about the past presidents right now. Go ahead and roll it, guys. Thanks.
Congratulations, Orange County Trial Lawyers Association, on our 60th anniversary. What an amazing achievement. Over the years, we've had some remarkable women trial lawyers lead this great organization. They are the true trailblazers.
First big challenge was trying to become president. And that was because I had to go through the various levels of secretary and treasurer and vice president before I could be elected president. Eventually, I really developed a group of really supportive men who actually voted me in as president and gave me the humble honor of being the first woman president in 1991 of the Orange County Trial Lawyers Association.
I'm proud to have been a past president, obviously proud to have been one of the early female presidents, and I should still say one of the few female presidents. What's nice about our organization is we get all these rocks from each other and we work together to fill that slingshot and fight the fight.
When I was a young lawyer, I was looking for a place to apprentice and learn from some of the other great lawyers in the county. And so my experience with the anniversary is a walk down memory lane for some of the great lawyers that trained me as a young lawyer and helped me with my career and gave me the passion for what I do.
Okay, I was in San Francisco at a California trial lawyers meeting, and I asked the president why there wasn't a chapter in Orange County. And he said, "Why don't you start one?" So I was president 1963 to 1965.
Back then, there were only 400 attorneys in the entire county. Today, there are nearly 20,000. And our OCTLA community continues to grow stronger every day.
You're privileged to practice law in Orange County, where the collegiality and the camaraderie is the best of any bar association in the country. My experience with the trial lawyers is probably one of my top 10 or 15 memories, and I certainly can consider it one of the greater honors that I had.
You are the conscience of industry in the country, and I salute you. You are noble women and noble men. So thank you.
To say this is an amazing organization is an understatement. The compassion and generosity of its members is truly inspirational.
The one thing that really has impressed me is the ability that we've had to raise money for charities. I remember when we used to give a check for $4,000 or $5,000 to women's shelters. We're able to generate incredible amounts of money for charity.
To date, OCTLA has raised and donated nearly $2 million to pediatric cancer, to the Down Syndrome Association, United Cerebral Palsy, and so many more. Our members have been able to make a true difference for the people in need and give back to the community.
The way somebody becomes president is first you're elected parliamentarian on the executive committee, and then if no one runs against you, so you're doing a good job, you would automatically move through those chairs up to the presidency.
We were able to focus on improving the relationship between the attorneys of the Orange County Trial Lawyers and the bench.
We devoted a great deal of time and effort to really revamp the entire educational program for young lawyers and even experienced lawyers.
That is part of the mission of OCTLA, to offer guidance and mentor young colleagues. I believe we have excelled at making the profession better and stronger over the past 60 years. And I have no doubt the organization will continue to do so into the future.
You could pick up a phone and you could call the most powerful plaintiff's lawyer in Orange County as the youngest apprentice in Orange County, and that powerful plaintiff's lawyer would talk to you, answer your questions, be helpful to you.
You may hear their names, Wiley Aiken, Mark Robinson, Gary Chambers, and you may hear those names, but you just don't appreciate the caliber until you get the opportunity to speak with them, and that's what OCTLA does. It gives you that chance to speak with those big guns about small issues.
In my time on the board, I was constantly inspired by the OCTLA members and their commitment to each other and their clients. It's now 10 years later, and I am so glad to see that this organization has only become stronger over that time.
I look at the organization today, and it's amazing how much it's progressed and grown and succeeded from the time when I was president, when we were worrying about where the next dollar was going to come from.
We were alive, functional in activities of daily living, but our membership numbers were down. So to me, it became about membership.
The year that I was president, we were using a lot of our monetary resources to help political candidates that are going to promote victims' rights issues. So for years, we were running low on money, and we were also trying to build our membership.
All great organizations have their fair share of unique challenges. The OCTLA is, of course, no exception. But as we've learned during these past 60 years, some challenges were more significant than others.
My first work as the president was to appear before the Orange County Board of Supervisors and object to and protest the raising of the civil filing fee from $40 to $51.
It was always a sense of wonderment as to what we would get served for dinner. In fact, one of our past presidents used to label it mystery meat, and we'd have some kind of lottery system where we'd try to guess what it was.
But in all seriousness, we did have tough times as we were trying to build a strong foundation for this organization to succeed, not only to benefit our community, but also to create a legacy for our future generations.
I think the presidents of OCTLA are nothing more than those in a relay race. We keep passing the baton, and you hope that you run a little faster than the next person.
You don't want to be the president that goes backwards. You want to be the president that grows the organization forward. And what is so nice about it is every president and every executive board stands on each other's shoulders every year and just makes it a little bit bigger and a little bit better.
By working together, we have become a force against the entities that are denying our clients the compensation they deserve.
Back in the early 1970s, issues were the same. And in fact, the law was probably even more allied against the consumer than it was now. And so many of the things that the lawyers of today enjoy is because of a lot of hard work of the people who came before them.
Very few organizations have had as much impact, I think, on individuals as OCTLA has, whether it's battling anti-consumer initiatives or it's helping impart skills to lawyers through our educational programs.
Sharing the information, using the information collectively, helping to influence legislation. We then are called trial lawyers in the most derogatory sense, and we should accept it as the greatest compliment to the profession.
A profession that is honorable and demanding, but I can't see myself doing anything else. Thank you to all of my colleagues who have volunteered their precious time to advocate policy change to our legislature in order to benefit the citizens of our community.
That year was a year that the insurance industry had qualified 5 ballot initiatives for the general and the primary election that would have torpedoed our business and our ability to represent the consuming public the way we traditionally do. They wanted to attack our attorney's fees. They wanted to attack our ability to take cases to court that belong there. Between the trial lawyers and other consumer groups, we were able to defeat all 5 of those ballot initiatives.
When the insurance companies come and try to take away the people's rights in the state of California through initiatives primarily, the presence of the Orange County trial lawyers means that we have a group of lawyers who are ready to go out and raise money and help defeat the initiatives.
We've had great presidents over the years. I think it's one of the strongest chapters of the Consumer Attorneys Association of California.
In the next 60 years, I see the future of OCTLA becoming bigger, better, stronger, and more involved in helping the reputation of trial lawyers. Not only will we continue to fight for consumer rights, we will stay committed to teaching and growing the integrity of the organization.
The thing that I really would hope to have accomplished is let the Orange County public know that we are the Orange County trial lawyers. We are the good guys. We are the ones fighting for the individuals.
I see the organization growing. I see it developing. I see us all becoming better trial lawyers. And by doing that, helping our clients, the people we serve, to be helped in the future.
I'm honored to be a part of OCTLA, and I'm excited to see where we will be 60 years from now. Thank you to all our past presidents and to all our presidents to come. We have a bright future ahead of us.
We'd like all of the past presidents to please come up and stand right over here. We're going to get a picture. Please, all you past presidents, please come on up. I don't think you're all going to fit on stage, so I think we're going to go right over here to stage left. Please, everyone, let's give a hand to all those past presidents. Thank you, everyone. Can you imagine all the money that has been generated for Orange County, the legal community, through all their firms? They owe a big round of applause, and thank you. All right, so before I give my recap on the year, I wanted to make an announcement. I was remiss. I should have done this at the Christmas party, but I've known Brooke Bowe for a long time. You know, Brooke and I were both in the Army. Brooke and I both had the same job. We were 98 Golfs, which is, they call that your MOS. It's a voice language interceptor, and what they do is they teach you a language, and they give you a top secret security clearance when you're 19 years old, and they send you out to listen to the other side. So we both had the same job. Brooke's a great writer, and I asked her to come join my firm, and she did. So she's with us now. I couldn't be happier. Thanks, Brooke. Also want to recognize Lisette Gomez right here. She's paralegal. She's joined our firm. I call her my superstar. She's absolutely unbelievable. Thanks, Lisette. All right. Now, I've said it over and over, and I've written, if you've read any of my articles, I know for a fact that I've got the greatest board out of all these past presidents. I've seen no evidence to the contrary. My ex-com was outstanding. They made my job so easy. I thank each and every one of you. Here's the evidence, folks. This year, 5 people ran for parliamentarian. 5. That's a record. Usually only 2 run. Maybe no one runs, like one of the presidents said. I'm inspired by their drive and that ambition. I want them to keep it up. Our summer intern program, Allegra Rainier, Chair, Jeff Rill, Vice Chair, Mike Berry, and the Honorable, God, I love saying the Honorable Eileen Solis on the committee. We want to thank the firms that sponsored the summer internship program. It's Chris Dahl at the Andall firm, my favorite, Jennifer Johnson, Law Office of Jennifer Johnson, and of course, the Simon Law Group, who just give and give and give. Thank you, everyone. Membership increased, of course, under the incredible guidance of Darren Campbell. He just did an outstanding job this year. Every committee, he just killed it. Broke all the numbers. Education put on all these great programs. The gavel, Edwin Hong, just great job. He's passing the torch off to Tom Antonovich. The list goes on and on. I cannot thank every single person in this room that committed, just their committees were fantastic. But, Top Gun this year killed it. Top Gun selection and the Top Gun event committee. We smashed the record for getting donations for our charity this year. It was Operation Helping Hands. We raised over $300,000 for Kim Valentine and Operation Helping Hands. That's going to be about 30 kids that aren't going to have to worry about where they're sleeping tonight, okay? And that means something. I want to call up Jason Argos, Lindsay, Garrett, and Darren. I want you to help me out with something. Please, come on up.
Oh, big old check. Big old check.
Kim Valentine, would you please come up here and take this big check from us? You can't cash it, though. I asked Kim if she'd like to say a few words, and she does. Kim Valentine, everyone.
So I just want to say thank you to OCTLA. You guys have no idea what an incredible difference $300,000 makes. But what's so fantastic about the selection of Operation Helping Hands as the charity for OCTLA's Top Gun event is that you have the ability to actually see what happens to your money. Because we have tons of social media platforms that you guys can follow. And already, just because we knew that this money was in the works, we've already been able to put our scholarship program in place in 3 new colleges in Orange County. So we now have a scholarship program in Saddleback, Irvine Valley College, and as well in Southwestern Community College. We have another meeting set up for this coming week at Santiago College, so that'll be our 4th college already. And so we're super thrilled that we're already going to be able to provide these scholarships to housing insecure students. As well, we're continuing with our program to be able to do team building in anyone's organization. If at any point in time you guys want to make backpacks, you want to have like a team building experience, we can now come to you and provide that service to you. So you have the opportunity to see exactly where your money is going. And so I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, you guys have no idea how incredible this experience was and how wonderful it is that we now have the funds to be able to provide for these students. We just had a meeting this last week and we learned that in one particular community college, they had over 200 students who had been housing insecure just within the last year. So the need is far greater than I think any of us even actually realize. So we're trying very, very hard to make sure that we get our program in every single community college in Orange County. And with your guys' support, we're going to be able to make that happen. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. You have no idea how much it means.
Kim. So, even though I had the best board, best XCOM ever, there was one person that just stood out. It was not even a contest. This board member is going to get the board member of the year. This board member chaired or vice chaired 3 different committees. His energy was unbelievable. He killed everything he did. Darren Campbell, get up here. You're the board member of the year.
Just kidding.
That's part of the fun of being the outgoing president. You get to pick, I got to pick Darren. There was no contest here. The other great thing is I get to pick the member of the year. And this is really a joy because I met this person about 11 years ago. And this person came to my office. And she started asking me a bunch of questions. And then she started to take some pictures and videos. And this person just gives to this organization year after year after year after year. I love her. Kelly Deutsch, get up here. You are the member of the year. Kelly Deutsch, Verdict Videos. I just love her. She's the greatest. All right. Now, before I call Judge Crandall up here to the stage, I get to give a few closing remarks since I'm about to hand this off to Lindsay. And I thought about what I wanted to say. And really, I kind of had to divide this crowd into 2 different segments because there's older attorneys like me. What am I going to tell you, older attorneys, sorry, that you haven't heard before? You're not going to tell me anything I haven't heard before. So I have one piece of advice for the older attorneys. That is, put a little scoop of psyllium powder in your orange juice in the morning. It'll really help, okay? Now, the younger attorneys, all right, I got a top 10 list, and I'm going to run through it pretty quickly. This is my advice to you, all right? Take care of your teeth and your feet. It's going to matter later, all right? It really is. Number 2, yoga. Just do it. Just do it. It's going to make a difference later on. Number 3, don't act like an attorney. Don't act like you think an attorney's supposed to act. Be fearless. Be creative. Figure out who you are and then be yourself. The judges are going to appreciate it. The juries are going to appreciate it. We're all going to appreciate it. All right? Have fun. I mean, dance up to the stage when you're the president, okay? I mean, just who cares? Who cares? Number 4, love passionately. Love passionately. Love what you do. You know, this job is such a privilege. It is just such a responsibility. When people walk into my office and they sit in that chair across the table from me and they put their problem on my desk and I say, thank you, I'm going to solve this. I want to solve this problem for you. If you don't love what you're doing, if you don't love this, go find something else, all right? And if I could just call a little bit of a timeout here while I'm on the subject. So a couple years ago, I was at a pretty low point in my life. And someone up there must like me. I don't know. I think my guardian angels kind of got together. And they dropped an angel right in my lap. Kristen, I want to tell you in front of all my friends and all my colleagues here, you are an extraordinary woman. You are one of a kind. And I love you so much. Okay? Thank you for indulging me, folks. I'll get back to the list now. Number 5 is be kind. You just don't know what the person on the other side's been going through. Everyone's fighting a tough battle. Be kind. Learn how to forgive. You got to let go of your anger and resentment. Number 7 is be generous, and that's been my theme all year. Be generous. Be generous with your time, with your resources, with your money. What you give is going to come back tenfold. I know. I've given and given this organization. I've gotten back 1,000,000 times more than I've given. Number 8 is to tell the truth. Don't lie. It's just so much easier just to remember what the truth was rather than try and figure out what you told someone that wasn't true. Now some practical advice. I want these younger attorneys to start thinking about the future. Do you have a 1-year plan? Do you have a 5-year plan? Do you have a 10-year plan? If you don't, you better get one. Where are you going to be in 2033? Where are you going to be in 2040? Have you thought about it? Because things are changing, folks. I've been beating this drum forever, but the technology is going to fundamentally change the way we practice law. Electronically stored information. If you don't know how to collect it, preserve it, produce it, and use it, you are committing malpractice, and that is right now. You cannot play ostrich. You got to get with this game plan. The big firms know it, and if you don't know it, they're going to bury you. Right, Michael Berry? Right? Yes, sir. Terry, Missouri. Right. And artificial intelligence is here, folks. It's here. It's going to fundamentally change the way we get to tell our story. Ultimately, 20, 30 years from now, we're going to be standing in front of juries, hopefully, and telling stories. But how we get from point A to point Z to tell that story is going to change. If you don't know AI, you better learn it because you're going to get left behind. That's it. That's my advice. I hope I've been a good president to you all. I thank you for letting me be a part of this. I thank you for trusting me. You've all changed my life fundamentally. I'm never going to forget it. All right, my last duty here. You know, each year we get to scan the field and we get to choose our judicial award recipient. We get to recognize an outstanding jurist whose career reflects everything that we value: judicial integrity, compassion, fairness, consistency, and civility. Judge James L. Crandall, he epitomizes these values. You know, he became an attorney in 1971, again, before many of people in this room were born. He tried 164 cases to verdict. 153 were jury trials. You know, when I was researching Judge Crandall, I found we had a little bit of the same pedigree. I talked to him about it. He was a partner at Sprague, Gould & Bowers, and I had about a 6-month stint at Sprague, Gould & Bowers, and I would like to forget that part of my life. But Judge Crandall is a diplomat with the BOTA. It's the highest honor you can get. He's a member of the American College of Trial Lawyers. In 2012, he was appointed to the bench. Off the bench, Judge Crandall pursues his passions of track and field and flying. He's a runner. For 25 years, he's competed in the Masters Division track and field events. He's also an instrument-rated pilot. He's a member of the Orange County Sheriff's Aero Squadron. He's flown across the country from San Diego to Maine. He has 7 children and 16 grandchildren. I think one is on the way. It is my honor, my privilege to welcome Judge James L. Crandall. Come up to the stage, Your Honor.
So heavy I got to put it on the floor. Thank you, Doug. And congratulations on this great year, one of the best years in the history of Orange County Trial Lawyers Association. You were a wonderful president. And I also want to congratulate Ashley and the new incoming board. I know that you will continue to grow the organization and, of course, the wonderful professional and charitable organizations that are so important to our community. This is the greatest award I've ever received. It may have sounded good in the article that I got 3 All-American awards, but that's just beating some other old men down the track. To be recognized by the very best trial lawyers in our county and the ones who try the most cases in our court, that's the pinnacle. That's the capstone of my entire legal career. So thank you all very much. The award is for being civil and being compassionate. I think that just comes with the position of a judge. When you're sworn in a judge, you recognize this is such a privilege. This is such an honor to be a judge. But the flip side of that privilege and honor is the duty to treat people who come before you with respect and compassion and to help them get through the system. Because a judge is a public servant, and that's our duty. So I appreciate getting an award for what I think is the natural part of being a judge. I have a lot of people to thank for being here. First, my wife, Charm. Would you stand up, Charm? Charm is the reason I start every day with a smile and arrive in court with a good attitude. Not only is she a gourmet chef, she's a wonderful interior decorator who has made our home beautiful as well as cozy and comfortable. In fact, every single judicial or bar association event that I've attended in the last 10 years, Charm has been by my side 100% of the time. She's been here so much that I noticed at most meetings in the last couple of years, people push past me to get to Charm to greet her. Then they turn to me and say, "Oh, by the way, hi, Judge, how are you doing?" So, Charm, the joy you've brought to my life has given me the attitude to be a kind and compassionate judge. I thank you very much, and I love you. Another source of joy in my life is that when Charm and I got together 15 years ago, we had 4 sons and 3 daughters. That's a nice sized family. And now we have number 16 grandchild on the way. So I'd like you to meet my daughters. Maria Colapinto, stand up. Christine Hemperian. Kathleen Burke Johnson. I have a beautiful daughter-in-law, Nicole Pearson. She's a lawyer. She's an Orange County lawyer, specializes in constitutional law and education law. I also have 2 wonderful son-in-laws that joined us. Robert Hemperian, stand up. Technically, he's an ex-son-in-law, but he comes to all of our events. And that's wonderful. They have a good relationship. But you may know Robert because he's a San Diego personal injury lawyer, and about 5 years ago, he was the Abota Trial Lawyer of the Year. So, also my son-in-law, Aaron Johnson, joined us tonight, Kathleen's husband. Thank you, Aaron. A lot of credit for this award goes to my court family. And I have here tonight my clerk, Brett Crabtree. My court attendant, Candace Verdesoto. And those who've been in my court recognize they're the face of Department 33. They're the first people you see when you come into my courtroom. And what's so special is they greet people every morning with a smile and a welcome. We want people to know when you come to Department 33, you're in Nordstrom. You're going to be treated like a valued customer. And they do that. I also think it's important, they wind me up for my morning calendar. They keep me on track throughout the day. Mr. Crabtree reminds me of MASH. Remember Radar in the TV series MASH? It doesn't matter what I say, he makes it make sense on the record. And Brett, I appreciate that. He saved me from a number of meetings with the Court of Appeal. So you deserve a lot of credit for this. Thank you. Of course, the main reason I think I've grown as a judge is because the bench that I joined. When I joined the Orange County bench, I looked around and said, uh-oh, this is the strongest bench in the state. Am I going to be able to keep up? I've been so inspired by the dedication and the hard work and the quality of legal work that comes out of the Orange County bench that it has raised my level of performance. And so I want to thank all the members of the bench. I've been watching you, I've been listening, and I've been learning. So thank you all very much. You're the best. And of course, I want to thank you, the Orange County Trial Lawyers Association. You make my job easy. You make it easy to be compassionate and kind and civil. Because of your professional training, because of the mentorship that this organization has been so good at for the last 35 or 40 years, 60 years, your lawyers come into my court and they're distinguishable from other lawyers. Members of the Orange County trial lawyers come in prepared. All their documents are in order. I hear your mini opening and your voir dire. The jury knows that you are speaking with enthusiasm about your themes. I like the fact that your direct and cross-examination is laser focused. But I really appreciate the way you move about the court. You move about the courtroom with a sense of confidence because you know what you're doing. And that's because of the many past presidents who have trained you. And I want to thank the old guys like me who've run this organization, because the young lawyers I see come in my court, it's a joy to work with them. So thank you very much for making my job easy, for keeping it interesting, and thank you so much for this wonderful award.
Judge Crennel, you are absolutely right. Orange County has the strongest bench in the entire state. Anyone who's tried cases around the state, LA, anywhere, you know it's so nice to come home in front of our judges. Isn't that nice? All right, without further ado, Casey Johnson, past president of the OCTLA. My friend, Casey, come on.
Good evening, everybody. It's my absolute pleasure tonight to introduce my dear friend, Lindsay Aiken. Anyone who's had the pleasure of knowing Lindsay knows that she's a doting mother to Emma and Sam, a loving wife to Darren, for which many argue canonization may be appropriate, an adoring daughter to Terry and Sherry. To others, she's the loving granddaughter, aunt, niece, an unflappable sister to Morgan and Derek, and to so many people in this room, an unconditional friend. She's also an incredible lawyer, an amazing organizational leader, and a vicious trivia competitor. Lindsay loves to play, but if she's playing to win, and know that going into it. As an Orange County native, Lindsay started her law practice with Law Barber and Myers doing personal injury work, where she became a formidable lawyer in her own right. She then joined OCTLA past president Dave Crandall, prosecuting personal injury matters and medical malpractice matters, until she co-founded her current firm, Aiken Campbell Hikus Weaver, where she practices in plaintiff employment litigation. I had the great fortune of becoming Lindsay's friend more than 20 years ago. We clicked immediately because of her amazing sense of humor, her razor-sharp wit, her incredible Irish step dancing skills, her uncanny ability to binge watch sitcoms on DVDs way before binge watching was a thing. Lindsay was doing it. And most importantly, the caring way in which she always answered my incessant legal questions. Lindsay started practicing law several years before I did, and she was literally my lifesaver in the beginning of my practice. You know all those questions you have that you're too embarrassed to put on the listserv? Lindsay was my personal listserv for the first 3 years of my practice. We joined the OCTLA board at about the same time. It was always a pleasure to be on a committee with Lindsay because she's hardworking and you knew if you gave her an assignment, she was going to get the job done. During her many years on the board, she's served on every committee, chaired most of them, but her most notable work has been the work that she's done on the Top Gun committees. Not just honoring amazing attorneys, but as you heard before, helping this organization raise millions of dollars for charity. I have a quick favorite story of Lindsay's that I wanted to share briefly with everybody tonight. As many of you may know, I shared a wall with Lindsay's dad, Terry Aiken, for about 10 years at my firm. Terry and I quickly became friends after I started at the firm. And one afternoon in my first couple of years of practice, he came in and said, "You're taking my daughter to dinner tonight." I said, "Well, we're good friends. I love Lindsay. We're gonna have a great time. I'm good with that." The request came on Valentine's Day. Needless to say, not a whole lot of dining options with about 2 hours left to go before dinner. So Lindsay and I decide we'll meet up at Pat and Oscar's, which was over on Bristol, right near South Coast Plaza. We ordered our dinner and we started chatting for a little bit. And we get together, we get a little bit loud, we have a good time. That's what friends do. I looked around the restaurant, realized there was only a couple of individual people there, and because of the volume of our conversation, there was no doubt in my mind that people were staring at us. And after a couple of minutes, Lindsay was talking, she stopped, and I leaned in real quietly and I said, "You know, everybody in here is thinking one of two things right now. Either, good Lord, your boyfriend is cheap, or, oh my gosh, does she know her boyfriend's gay?" We had a hearty laugh at a great impromptu dinner, and it remains one of my favorite Valentine's days of all time, so thank you. I truly believe that there is no other person in this county better suited to take over as leadership for OCTLA for their 60th year. Lindsay fully appreciates the legacy of OCTLA. Not just understanding the legacy here, but the impact OCTLA has on the local community as a whole, in addition to the local legal community, but also the outsized influence that OCTLA has statewide. Lindsay is fully prepared for this duty, and I know she's going to do a fantastic job. Lindsay, you've been an incredible friend, mentor, role model, back in the day, a great wingman. and you're an incredible leader. Please join me in welcoming to the stage the 2023 President for OCTLA, Lindsay Aiken.
Thank you. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you. I had to get the paper out, man. I'm sorry, I'm a paper person. I gotta hold it. Thank you so much for that amazing warm welcome. And before he leaves, I just have to thank the Celtic Bar Association members in this room for lending us Andy, the Celtic Bar Association's resident piper. Thank you so much. I just love me some bagpipes. I'm sorry. All right, I gotta figure, where are we now in this agenda? Casey, I'm gonna introduce Judge DeCesar and have him come up here because it was not made clear to you at all that Casey was gonna introduce Judge DeCesar to come on up. Judge DeCesar, can you please come up here? It's time for the business at hand. I think you're gonna swear somebody in now.
I would love to, but first I have to say a few words about you. You're not going to escape. You know, all the words that Casey said are just so absolutely true. And there's certainly some other things that are also very important as well. And the first thing is, Lindsay is full of joy. She has a tremendous amount of joy. And that joy, I believe, comes from her profound faith. And I'm just going to read a quick definition of joy because she brings it to everyone who she touches. True joy does not come from things or from possessing. It is born from the encounter, from the relationship with others. It is born from the feeling of being accepted, understood, loved, and accepting, from understanding and from loving. And this is not because of a passing fancy, but because the other is a person. Joy is born from the gratuitous and the gratuity of human encounter. And that really tells the story of these folks. Not only does she have great joy, but her husband Darren has great joy. And being in their presence just enlightens us with regard to what that joy can bring us. She also has this tremendous energy, and that energy just drives her and drives everyone around her, sometime to wit's end and sometimes to great glory. These two, I had an opportunity to marry them, so I performed the service. And we've known each other for many, many years. And they have just brought so much joy and fun. They are so fun-loving, and all who they encounter are just so impressed by the joy that they bring to each other's lives. This group is so special in so many ways. The generosity of this group, the profound and true and genuine affection that all of us have for one another. There really is no group where a number of folks such as us in these huge numbers have such true affection for one another. The hugs, the handshakes, the due regards, they are all so genuine. And we are so proud to have that relationship among us. And I am So proud to be among you from all these years, and you have given me such joy. The other thing that's so significant is Lindsay exemplifies all of the goals, all of our traditions, all of our generosity, and all the things that embody this group. Not only is she going to be an excellent president, but she truly reflects the best of us all. So proud to know her, and so delighted to see her as president.
You swear me in first.
Oh.
And then I'm going to call everybody in. Did they give you the oath?
They did.
Okay.
So my opportunity to present the words of oath to our incoming president. Please raise your right hand. I hereby declare and affirm
I hereby declare and affirm
that I will uphold and enforce the bylaws of the Orange County Trial Lawyer Association,
that I will uphold and enforce the bylaws of the Orange County Trial Lawyers Association,
diligently promote its mission,
diligently promote its mission,
growth and goals,
and
faithfully discharge my duties
and faithfully discharge my duties
and obligations as president of this association.
and obligations as president of this association.
Ladies and gentlemen, our new president.
All right, now it is my pleasure and honor to introduce the officers and board of directors of the 2023 board. Please come up to the stage after your name is called. President-elect Whit Birch. First Vice President Aaron Hicks. Second Vice President Claire Lusich. Secretary Michael Gendron. Treasurer Garrett Chambers. Parliamentarian Jason Argos. And for the board of directors, Tom Antonovich. Michael Berry. David Blaine. Brooke Bove. You gotta wait. Darren Campbell. Mohammed El Dasuki. Edwin Hong. Ben Ikuda. Elaine Kinnelly. Nicholas Cohan. Jonathan Michaels. Jeff Rill. Allegra Rainier. Amanda Robinson. Farnaz Salesi. And Atticus Wegman.
I'm right at the border. 5'8.5". Yeah, we did. I'm 6'3" on the tall. I'm 5'9" on the blind. With a cover. He's 6'9".
Congratulations to you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations. We always say congratulations.
You're supposed to be in the front, Lindsay.
All this brain power, my gosh, the brain power up here, the brain power in the room.
I was moving out of the way.
Unbelievable. What do you do with all this brain power? I guess make a lot of money. So now it's my opportunity to administer the oath to the officers and the board of directors. Please repeat. I hereby declare and affirm.
I hereby declare and affirm
that I will uphold and enforce the bylaws of the Orange County Trial Lawyers.
That I will uphold and enforce the bylaws of the Orange County Trial Lawyers.
Diligently promote its mission.
Diligently promote its mission.
Its growth. And goals. And faithfully discharge my duties and obligations as a director of this association. Congratulations. Let's hear it for these fine attorneys. Now remember, Lindsay has been waiting about 10 years to make her acceptance speech. So you can imagine what's going on in her mind. In a few minutes, she's going to be able to address you. And she's been waiting 10 years to do it.
You're done. You can go. Well, we have a year to improve upon that. Whit has his work cut out for him next year. Maybe you want to do a practice session beforehand. My first job as president, failure number 1, practice doing the oath. No. I'm very excited about this board. Thank you, everybody. They're fine. They don't need me. Thanks, Garrett. I just want to take a minute and acknowledge and thank Senator Umberg and to Supervisor Katrina Foley for providing recognitions to our board and to our outgoing president, Doug Vanderpool. I intended to read the recognitions, but I can't find them up here. But I just want to thank Supervisor Foley and Senator Umberg for your work for our community and your constant support of this organization. Thank you very much. Douglas, I have a few words to say about you. All good, all good. Thank you very much for your leadership this past year. The organization continued to grow under your stewardship. There is never a dull moment with you at the helm. And like you always said, keep things brief. So please come up here and I have a plaque for you. Thank you, Doug, for everything you really have done for the organization. Thank you so much.
The things are over here, by the way.
Okay. Oh. Okay. First job of business to show me what I didn't do right. Oh, well, that's coming next. Sorry. Thanks. Well, there's only, yeah. So he's such a great past president. Told me what I was missing this whole time. From Senator Umberg to Douglas Vanderpool, on behalf of the California State Senate, I am proud to award this certificate of recognition to Orange County Trial Lawyers Association President Doug Vanderpool. Your work with the OCTLA has had positive effects on the justice system and our entire community. Your dedication will set a standard for years to come. Congratulations and best wishes on your future endeavors. Senator Thomas Umberg.
You are in good hands. It is a pleasure to hand this off to Lindsay and this incoming board. They're going to be better. just way better. Thanks, Lindsay. Appreciate it. You're awesome. Love you.
Can we get a gavel to give me?
Oh. See, Lindsay had to remind me I forgot something. Lindsay? It's my pleasure to hand you the gavel of the OCTLA. I'm out. Thank you.
Hello? Oh, yes. Yeah, no, yeah. I'm going to put you on speakerphone. Just 1 second. I'm putting you on speakerphone.
Well, Doug, didn't think you were going to pull it off, but looks like you did a pretty okay job, and no one got hurt. Just wanted to thank you for gracing us with your fiance's pretty face all year long. I heard you were going to run like hell out the back door, but I sure hope you'll stick around for more fun this year. It's been a giggle. Now go and sit down and let Lindsay take the reins.
That's heavy. Okay. Sorry, I just had to take a second. Because it's finally here. Thank you, Casey, for such a heartfelt introduction. Having known you for the past 20 years has been one of the greatest joys of my life. You always take my call, and you've always been an amazing sounding board for me, and I truly cherish our friendship. Thank you so much. Judge DeCesar has played an instrumental role in my life. In 2001, he swore me in as an attorney. In 2007, he officiated my wedding. Over the years, he has been a constant source of encouragement, and I cherish seeing him and his wife Donna at these events. And now he has sworn me in as president of this great organization. Thank you so much. I want to thank my family. My mom and dad, Terry and Sherry Aiken, drove all the way down here from Central California to be with us tonight. My dad was actually my first introduction to the practice of trial preparation. Many people here tonight know that my dad was Wiley's case administrator for over 30 years. My dad would take me to the office during trial prep, and I would only be like 8 or 9 years old. And I would bait stamp trial exhibits. I loved it. I was hooked from the beginning. Being part of a team, fighting the fight for the little guy, the guy who didn't have a voice. And all I was doing was stamping a bait stamp up and down for hours. But I was part of a team, and it was exhilarating, and it was inspiring, and I loved every minute of it. Mom, whether it was taking me to my mock trial competitions or holding my hand when I was in labor with Emma, you have always been a constant supporter. To my sister Morgan, you have always been my cheerleader in everything that I have done, and I love you very much. To David Crandall, thank you for helping shape my career and making me a better lawyer. You mentored me for over a decade. I am the attorney that I am in many ways because of you. Yeah. Thank you. the Aiken, Campbell, Highhouse, Weaver crew. Chris, Darren, and Kelly, let's face it, in all honesty, the time a board member spends doing the work of this organization is time they are not at their office. It's time away from work. But the client work doesn't stop. And without Chris, Darren, and Kelly, I can't work as hard as I work for OCTLA. Kelly, I've known you since high school. You have been by my side through every up and down. You are an instrumental part of my life, and I can't thank you enough. Chris and Darren, you are two of the smartest and hardworking people that I know, and amazing trial lawyers. I am very lucky to go to work with people I truly admire. My two children, Emma and Samuel. I can't even put into words how much I love you. Emma, I want to be an example to you. This is what you can achieve with hard work and determination. Be the best that you can be every day. And to my Samuel, my Bubba, I am the 7th woman to accept the gavel as president of OCTLA out of 59. And as it should be, there will be many more to follow me. I want you to see that women in leadership positions are not the new normal. Instead, I want you to understand that women leading organizations like OCTLA is just normal. And when this year is over, I hope I've made you both proud. Darren, you didn't think that was all I was going to say about you. You are much more than my law partner. You are my co-captain of Team Campbell. We are a team in every sense of the word. The amount of energy you give to our law practice, this board, and our family is awe-inspiring. I love you to the moon and back. I could go on and on and on about you, but Eric Trout said I had to keep this short. Sorry, Eric, I think I've already blown it. I'm excited for the year to come. The board that was just sworn in is a relatively young board that I know will bring a lot of energy and fresh ideas to this magnificent organization. My theme for this year is let's achieve great results together. COVID has changed a lot about how we practice as lawyers. COVID isolated us. Depositions and mediations, even trials, are now conducted over Zoom. Many of our members transitioned to working alone from a home office. We lost that in-person camaraderie that I believe is so essential to the healthy practice of law. I want to have more in-person networking events where we can talk about the law and exchange ideas face to face. I also want to hear from you. As a board, we only can achieve great results together if we know what our membership wants and needs. I'm currently in the process of drafting a survey that will be sent out to all OCTLA members so that you can tell us what you want from this organization. Be honest. If there's something that you don't like, tell us. If there's something you want to see more of, let us know. My goal as president is to reach out to you and listen. Our clients are experiencing some of their worst moments in their life when they call us and they ask for help. A priority of my presidency will be to strengthen our ability to engage with and lean on each other in order to provide the best legal representation to our clients. My journey to this stage began back in 2005 when I was first elected to the board. I was just a baby lawyer back then, having only started practicing a couple years before. Many of the past presidents seen in the video we watched earlier, were instrumental in my adoption to the OCTLA family. Yoshi Kubota and Alan Brown encouraged me to run for the board and personally introduced me to many members. John Adams was the first president I served on the board with, and he was a great example of OCTLA leadership. Dave Crandall would tell me stories about the lean years when the presidents would write personal checks just to keep this organization afloat. The past presidents we honor tonight have been an integral piece of OCTLA's history and success. To commemorate their legacy, each president has been given a glass puzzle piece thanking them for their service. Without your hard work and dedication, OCTLA would not be what it is today. One person that I did not thank at the beginning of my speech is my Uncle Wiley. I saved the best for last. I would never forget about you. Growing up and watching you in action and hearing about how Uncle Wiley was fighting for those that could not fight for themselves inspired me to do the same. Like Wiley, my practice has always been tailored to helping those in need, obtaining justice for our most vulnerable clients. That's what we do. I'm honored to be your niece. I'm honored to follow in your footsteps as president of this great organization. And I'm honored to call Wiley up to the stage to say a toast to the last 60 years.
Got to wipe the tears from my eyes a little bit here. Actually, I was asked by this lovely president. Is it okay to say lovely, even though it's like whatever you want to do? Okay. To give an Irish toast, and I thought, okay, so they're going to pass out all of these shots to everybody throughout this entire audience, and we're going to give an Irish toast. So, being a good lawyer and preparing, I went on Google. Sorry, I didn't get the AI yet part of it, and looked at all these Irish toasts. And I came across one, and I ran it by Betty, and she turned it down. It was one that says, "Here's to our wives and girlfriends, may they never meet." So, but in an Irish spirit, I did find out when I got here that they were not going to pass out any of these. We're going to do champagne instead. But being a good Irishman and with Grandma O'Leary influencing all of us, I brought my own, which probably violated some hotel law. I brought my own. So here's the Jameson. As any Irish toast should be. And so here is the Irish toast. May your glass be full. May the roof over your head be always strong. May you be in heaven half an hour before the devil knows you're gone. And may the best day of your past be the worst day of your future. Hear, hear.
To 60. Thank you very much. Wow. Thank you so much. To 60 years, everybody. Amazing. Well, I want to thank everyone for attending our 60th anniversary of the Orange County Trial Lawyers Association. I need to thank all of our sponsors for their generous support. It doesn't happen without you. Thank you so much. I want to thank Janet Thornton, Executive Director of the Orange County Trial Lawyers Association. Without her, none of this happens. Thank you so much, Janet. Please stay a bit longer and enjoy some cocktails at the after party, because I know I am. It's in the Lighthouse Room, and the after party is being hosted by Rizio Lipinski, so drink up. It's on Greg, it's on Darren. Thank you, guys. We also have coffee and snacks hosted by our valet sponsor, Vanderpool Law. Thank you so much. Good night, everyone. We made it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Grab my stuff.
Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes, watching the ships roll in.